Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle, and this is Danielle's Books. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be kind of a big book haul. I haven't done a book haul since February, so it's been quite a long time. I honestly can't remember what books I showed back in that haul versus this one, meaning like books I've been sent, because I got sent a whole bunch of ARCs like around that time, and I just can't remember, like I said, which ones I talked about and which ones I haven't. So I did my best to remember, and we're just going to go through all of these books, and I hope you enjoy. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel because I would love, 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 love to have you. And let's get into the haul. I'm going to start with horror, So first up, I have a stack of horror novellas that I personally bought, and then a good chunk of this haul is actually, well, we'll get into it. Let's start with the horror novellas that I personally bought. First up, we have The Clown Hunt by Judith Sonnet. I have not read a Judith Sonnet book yet, but this is one that I've seen kind of going around. It has an amazing cover, and I don't read a whole lot of clown books because I'm someone who doesn't really enjoy clowns, but I've had my eye on this one for a little while, and I think I got this one like a few months ago. So I'm excited to get to this one, hopefully soon. Actually, I'm kind of hoping to read this one in July, possibly during Summerween, which that'll be a separate TBR video coming out hopefully within the next week or so. It's kind of been a crazy month. I know I say that a lot, but it actually has. Normally, or in a lot of my videos, I've said we have a lot of stuff going on, and unfortunately, a lot of that has kind of come to a head. I lost 2 family members in the month of June, so it's just kind of been a crazy month, and kind of like rocked my world a little bit. But we're going to hopefully get into the swing of things again in July. I also know I've said that before, but like I said, a lot of the stuff that's been going on is kind of, unfortunately, in the past now. But also July is my birthday month, and I turned 30 this year, so I'm so excited, and I just really want it to be a good month. I have my baby shower in July, and yeah, I just want it to be a good reading month. So a lot of these books are going to be ones that I'm prioritizing in the month of July. The next one I have to talk about is They Were Here Before Us. This is a novella in pieces by Eric LaRocca. Actually, I have another. I'll just show that real quick. This one is one I might have shown in a different video. I'm not totally sure. I was sent this ARC, and this is a book I read this month. I have a lot of thoughts on it, and I'm hoping to do a recent reads potentially, where I'll talk all about this book. This is Everything the Darkness Eats, and this was my 3rd or 4th by Eric LaRocca, and like I said, I have a lot of thoughts on this one, so stay tuned for that recent reads whenever I get to it. But this is one I haven't heard as much about. The back of it says, "The only thing more brutal than nature is love," and I just really, really enjoy this cover. So this is one I got a little while ago. And next up is one that I also have my eye on potentially for Summerween, and that is 20th Anniversary Screening by Jeff Strand. I actually first heard about this from Gwen, and I'll link her channel down below. She said, I think this was like a slasher. I'm really into like horror novellas, especially slashers. And so this is one, like I said, I had my eye on. This one says, this mockumentary style dark comedy recounts the grisly events surrounding the terrible slasher flick, The Roofer, remembered only because an obsessed fan tried to reenact the murders as they played out on the screen. When the same theater shows the film 20 years later, will the warnings that this is a really, really bad idea be justified? So, like I said, I have my eye on this for Summerween, and it's super, super short. I think it's under like 100 pages for sure. Yeah, it definitely is. So I should get to this no problem. There you have 20th Anniversary Screening. Next up for horror novellas, I have Shockwaves by Matt Kurtz. Matt Kurtz wrote one of my favorite horror novellas that I've ever read, and that is, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name right now. That is so tragic. Oh my gosh. I'll have to put a picture on the screen when I figure it out. That's going to drive me nuts that I can't think of it, and I just said it's one of my favorite novellas. Regardless, the other Matt Kurtz book I read, I really, really enjoyed, and this one is like an amusement park horror, and that's a vibe that I am really into, really wanting to read more of, so I think this will be great. This one also was released this year, so good stuff, and I hope to read this in July as well. This is not a TBR, but a lot of these are ones I'm just wanting to read relatively quickly. Next up, I have a few more books that I was sent. Suburban Monsters. This is also one that I might have already talked about. This is 13 short stories by Christopher Hawkins. I was sent this by the author. I have not gotten to it quite yet, but I'm still very much so interested. I really enjoy the cover, and yeah, I was sent this one. Super excited about it. Next, we have Not If I Date You First, which this is kind of a curveball from everything I've shown so far. This is a romance, and this is by Christy Meyer, who is the host of the Get Cozy podcast, and she's one of like my book besties in the social media space. I started on Bookstagram long before I started a booktube channel, and she is someone who I got really close to, and yeah, this is her debut book, and I can't wait to read it soon. It's actually being released in July, so definitely check this out if you are a romance lover, because I'm sure that it is fantastic. Also, her podcast is also fantastic, and it focuses on cozy mysteries, so check that out as well. Next arc I got sent is Cutting Teeth by Chandler Baker. I love this cover. This one is being released in July, and you'll probably see me talk about this a little bit more in my, let's see if this says, in my July book releases. This one says it's released on July 18th. My birthday is July 16th, so this comes out right after that. And this is just a book that I've been intrigued with. It says, this is a witty and thrilling story of parental love in her signature style, filled with biting social commentary and a big, juicy mystery. Sounds amazing. So there you have Cutting Teeth by Chandler Baker. Next up, we're going to touch on a couple library books. So I work at the library, as most of you know, and we just kind of did a huge withdraw at the library, where we weeded down books that either haven't been checked out a lot, or one reason or another they were weeded, and so you can take them for free. And so the two that I took, I can't get the sticker all the way off, which is kind of driving me nuts, but the first one is Follow Me to Ground. This one is a really short horror book. I've had my eye on this one for a while. It's right around 200 pages, and I love this cover so much. So once I take off all the library binding, it'll be good to go. So there you have Follow Me to Ground. And then the other one I got is The Homewreckers by Mary Kay Andrews. I don't know a whole lot about this one. I just know that it's kind of newer. It says Love, Murder, and Faulty Wiring. This one, like I said, I really know nothing about. I think I saw someone talk about it on Bookstagram. I just don't remember anything about it. So it was free from my library, so why not? There's that. And then I'll go into Half Price Books. So at my local Half Price Books, they were doing a huge clearance event where they had marked down a whole bunch of books, and they had some really, really good ones marked down pretty cheap. So the first one I got is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. These are all $2, $3 to $5, so pretty inexpensive. This one I know is part of the Wayward Children series. It's the first book, and I've always wanted to read that series, but it's a big series. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it. It looks like it's right around 170 pages or so super short, and I was stoked to find it on clearance at Half Price Books, and it's in amazing condition. So I don't know why it was marked down, but it was. The other one is Gyo by Junji Ito. This one is a manga, a horror manga, and I have had my eye on these before, or for a while, and so I also got this one on clearance, and I'm excited to get to that. And then another book I've had my eye on, honestly, I've had my eye on it solely because of the cover, and that's Kill All Your Darlings by David Bell. My favorite color is purple. This is a thriller that came out a year ago, I want to say, maybe 2 years ago. I'm not totally sure, but it was just something that caught my eye right away, but it was never a book that got marked down ever on like Amazon or just at the bookstore in general. And so when I saw this one, I was like, okay, I have to get it now. Otherwise, I'll never own this book. This one says, when a student disappears and is presumed dead, her professor passes off her manuscript as his own, only to find out it implicates him in an unsolved murder in this new thriller. So it sounds really good. And like I said, this book is just like my perfect aesthetic. I love all the colors, and it's a thriller, so I'm excited to get to it. And then one that I did not get on a deal, but I did get from Half Price Books is The Senator's Wife by Liv Constantine. I'm currently reading this book right now with my friend Holly, who also has a booktube channel. I will link that down below. She has a great channel, and I highly recommend. She reads a whole slew of genres, and it's a good time over there. So this one, I will read you the blurb because, like I said, I've just barely started it, and I still don't know like a whole lot about what's going on. So I'm just going to read you the blurb that's inside the book. A psychological thriller that upends the private lives of those who walk the halls of power. Because when you have everything, you have everything to lose. So I'm super excited to keep reading it. I'm liking it so far, but I'm not super far into it. So there's The Senator's Wife. Next up, I have 2 more books that I was sent kindly by the publishers. This one is Burn the Negative by Josh Winning. This book comes out, this is a horror book that comes out in the month of July. I was sent a finished copy, and let's see, it comes out July 11th. Let's see here. I was going to see if it had like a little blurb on it. The blurb is kind of long. It says, some remarks aren't just a bad idea, they're deadly. That's the short blurb. But yeah, this one is one that I was going to talk about in my releases video too. So you'll hear me go more in depth into that in that video. But thank you so much to the publisher. I'm excited to have a finished copy of that. And then the other one is The Chateau by Jacqueline Goldis. This one is another cover that I am super intrigued by. And I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about this yet, but I know that it was released, I believe, in June, if I'm not mistaken. This one says, you are cordially invited to the Chateau. This one I think is just like, you know what? I actually don't know what this one is about either, but I'm really excited to get to it. I think it's very twisty, and it looks like we have kind of like a spooky chateau that the book is obviously going to be set at. It says tense and twisty, certain to be the hot new thriller of the year at the blurb on top. So thank you so much for sending me this one as well. And then I was going to leave off the video with the book of the month picks that I never ended up putting in book hauls because I haven't been filming book hauls. I do want to say there have been 6 months of book of the month picks. I skipped 1 month, so that's 5. And of those 5 picks, I have read 4 out of the 5, and the only one I haven't read yet was my June pick. So I am pretty proud of myself for getting to my book of the month picks right away this year. First up, I have The Soulmate. This was my March pick by Sally Hepworth. Sally Hepworth is an author that I really, really enjoy. This was my 3rd book by her, and I really liked this one. This cover is amazing, and I think I read this. I put this in a vlog, I want to say. I don't know about that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This was a 4-star book for me, and I highly recommend. It's not so much a thriller, though. If you're looking for just like a classic thriller, that one's a little bit more like mystery, suspense, I would say. So there's that one. And then my May pick, oh, April was the month that I skipped, by the way. My May pick was The Last Word. I also read this. This one I did talk about in a video recently, so check out probably my last video or the one before that to hear my full thoughts on this one. This is by Taylor Adams. This is my third read by Taylor Adams, and this is like middle of the pack. I did not like the second book I read, which was The Hairpin Bridge. I really, really enjoyed No Exit, and I really liked this one too. I just think I liked No Exit a little bit more, but this was still a solid book for me. So there you have The Last Word. And then finally, in this book haul, we have She Started It by Sharn Gilbert. I was told how to say her first name, so I'm going to stick with that. Whoever told me that, thank you. This was my June pick. Like I said, I have not gotten to this one yet. I have heard mixed reviews for this one, so I'm kind of cautious about reading this one, but I definitely still want to because I want to keep on top of reading my Book of the Month picks. So yeah, I'm excited-ish to get to this one, and hopefully I will soon. So there you have She Started It, and that's it for this huge book haul. I think that was like over 20 titles, something like that. I don't know. Someone can count and correct me if you want to, but I was just kind of trying to keep it short and brief, so I'm not sitting here talking forever because I don't have, honestly, that much time and that much energy to do that right now. I'm coming up on 7 months pregnant, so we got to do what we got to do. But thank you so much for watching. If you like book hauls, give this video a thumbs up. Honestly, I don't know how many book hauls there will be coming up. I might do one for my birthday if I'm gifted books. I don't really know for sure what I'm expecting because I don't know. And yeah, I should have a July TBR coming up. I should have a Summerween TBR video coming up. I should have a recent reads video coming up. And also I still want to do the mid-year book freakout tag. So a lot of fun stuff coming up soon, and I hope you subscribe to this channel and stick around to check it out. A lot of the recent reads is going to be horror because I've been reading a lot of horror novellas in the month of June because it's a little bit quicker and easier to read while I'm at work. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, I hope you liked it. Comment some books that you've gotten lately, or if you have liked any of these books I talked about, let me know because I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you in one of those videos I talked about coming up soon. Bye!